Hey y'all, I know it's been a while, and I know the lighting is really bad. I'm sitting in my truck at the Walmart parking lot. Uh, I just dropped my girls off at church, and but I still have work to do, so I'm sitting in the truck on my phone working, and I'm having a rough day. I'm sorry that I don't update everybody as much as I should, and I, I am so ready. I am so ready to get my family back together. But there's so much to do, to prepare, and I'm spending so much time just working and trying to survive. I'm spending so much time just working and trying to survive and be a single mom of 3 kids right now. And I gotta get my house cleaned up and fixed up so I can show it to potential buyers. But I don't have the time or the energy to do it. And Christmas is... Christmas is a couple of days away. 3 days. And it was my second. This is our second Christmas without my husband. The second Christmas the girls don't have him. And the temptation to bring him back the wrong way is so strong. Do I want to bring him back? Heck yeah, I want to bring him back. Does he want to come back? Yeah, he does. But we both believe in our heart that that's not what God wants. And this is hard. This is very hard. And it's scary. But doing the right thing is usually not the easy thing to do. I want to tell y'all kind of what I'm standing on as far as why we're not bringing him back. Maybe it'll help some people understand, because I've had so many people tell me. I've had people tell me that I'm stupid for not bringing him back. Because my girls need their dad, and they do. They need their dad. They need mom and dad together. But if we do it our way, then we will have to sustain it. So I want to do it God's way because I want God to sustain it. And you remember the story in the Bible of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego? I know there's not the real names, but I can't remember, nor can I pronounce their original names. But that's the names they were given under King Nebuchadnezzar. And I think it was Nebuchadnezzar, yeah, something like that. Anyway, y'all remember the part where, King Nebuchadnezzar had this statue. I'll just make it super short. But he had this statue of himself built, and everybody in the whole village area, whatever, had to come out in front of it, and when everybody saw it, and as soon as they heard all the trumpets and all the instruments playing, then they had to bow down to this false god, to this false idol. And they had to bow down. Well, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they knew it was wrong, and they knew that's not what God wanted them to do. So they refused. And the king said, I'm going to throw you into this fiery furnace. And he said, I'm going to give you another chance. They said, well, I'm sorry. We will serve you and we will be respectful, but we will not bow down to a false god. We will not bow down to this idol because it's not right. It's not what God wants. And that's kind of how we feel right now, that bowing down to the idol of easy, to the idol of selfishness, to the idol of everybody else is doing it. It doesn't matter if it's wrong. We feel like that's wrong. Now, would we be okay? Probably. But would we be everything God has called us to be? Probably not. And if we did bring him back illegally, it's a dangerous journey. People die on the border trying to cross every day. If not from the elements, then from the cartels. If not from the cartels, then these crazy extreme rednecks on the border that are shooting anything that moves. I mean, there's 100 different ways he could die coming across that border. And how can I ask God to protect him coming across if I know we're not supposed to do that? And I've had people tell me, yeah, well, he was over here illegally for years. Yeah, he was. And the last 3 years since he gave his heart to Jesus, do you know the guilt and the shame he has felt? We tried for 8 long years to get his papers and to do it right. And we couldn't. And he felt so much guilt and shame because he knew he was not here the right way. But there was nothing we could do to fix it. We tried and we tried and we tried. We talked to so many different lawyers. But anyway, so Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they refused to bow down. And they continue to refuse. And they continue to stand and do the right thing because they knew what was right. So King Nebuchadnezzar was pissed. And he said, heat that furnace up 7 times hotter. And so that's what they did. And they bound their hands and they tied them and they threw them in. The furnace was so hot that the guards that threw them in died because it was so hot. Okay, like just imagine how hot it had to be to kill the people shoving the other people in. Like, that's hot. And then King Nebuchadnezzar looks over into the furnace and he says, wait a minute. Didn't we only throw 3 guys in there? Because I see 4. And then they came out. That 4th one was Jesus. He was literally in the fire with them. Jesus was in there with them. It was scary. Do you know how scary that had to have been? But the flames did not touch them. The only thing the flames did was burn the ropes off their hands, and they were free. And they didn't even smell like smoke when they came out. And I feel like that's where we are right now. We're in front of King Nebuchadnezzar, and he's saying, bow down. But we refuse. Because we know what's right. When they told King Nebuchadnezzar no, they said, throw us in the furnace if you have to, but we're going to do what's right. And our God will save us. But even if he doesn't, we're still going to do the right thing. And that's what I want to teach my children. That God will save us. But even if he doesn't, we're going to do the right thing. No matter how hard it is. It's hard. Nobody ever said being a Christian was easy. Nobody ever said doing the right thing was easy. But this, people can talk a big talk all they want. People can talk about integrity and doing the right thing. But when it really comes down to it, when the decision to do the right thing or not is this difficult, what will you do? Are you going to break? And are you going to bend? And are you going to bow to that statue that you know is wrong? Or are you going to stand your ground no matter how scary it is? And that's what I'm teaching my kids. That's what my husband is teaching our kids. That we're going to do the right thing no matter what. And we are going to trust God no matter what. So, just so y'all know, I'm sorry I cried so much in this. I'm having a really rough day. My plan is to hopefully be able to leave here and move to Mexico at the end of February or the first part of March. I want to be down there before my birthday, which is April 5th. My oldest daughter turns 14 on February 19th, so I would like her to have this birthday here in the States. with her friends, and her biological father is here. My two older girls are from my previous marriage, and their dad is involved in their life, and that's another thing that makes this whole situation difficult. Bird is an amazing dad to all three of these girls. He loves them all. Those are his babies. But my older girls, they have their biological father here. And so it's like I have to choose which dad my girls have. But ultimately, they need to have a mom and a dad in the home. They need to be raised by a mom and a dad together. And at the moment, until we get dual citizenship or permanent residency or something like that, we're only allowed to be in Mexico for 6 months at a time anyway, or 6 months out of the year. So our plan as of right now, and until God changes it or pulls us a different direction or something else happens, is to live 6 months out of the year in Mexico, and then the other 6 months we will be up here. Anyway, I am considering setting up a GoFundMe, I guess in January maybe, to kind of help us move. And since we're going to sell the house, and I'm not going to get very much money from selling the house because we still owe so much on it. And technically, it's my mom's house, and it was supposed to be my inheritance. But I will be getting a portion of whatever profits are left over after we pay off the house. But because we still have to pay off the house, it's not going to be that much. But we will need to buy a camper or something, a camper or an RV, so when we come back up here for 6 months, we have a place to live. I have a friend who has graciously offered to let me park my truck at her house while we're in Mexico, and she'll go out and start it or drive it once a week. So we'll still have a vehicle when we come back over here. In Mexico, there's taxis everywhere, but here, Oklahoma and Texas, like, you can't just go out and flag a taxi. Like, everybody lives way out in the middle of nowhere. You got to drive 30 minutes to the Walmarts. But, so we will need a vehicle when we come back over here. But anyway, I'll have to figure out how the GoFundMe thing works and how to share it on YouTube. I don't know how any of that works. But I've had so many people ask, hey, how can I help? What can I do? Besides prayers, besides praying for my family, whenever the GoFundMe or however, whatever program system, whatever that I use, to ask for donations. I mean, I have over 1,000 subscribers here. I know that's small potatoes compared to most people on YouTube. But if 1,000 people, if each of y'all if 1,000 people gave $5, that would be $5,000, and that would be a tremendous help. So just be considering that and thinking about that and praying about that. If you would be able to donate to my family to help us get us back together, and to be able to buy a camper, just nothing fancy, just a used camper, as long as there's a place to cook, a place to use the bathroom and shower, and a place for me and the girls to sleep. That's all we need. Nothing fancy. So, anyway, this is a long enough video. I'm sorry. It wasn't planned. It wasn't scripted. I just turned my phone on and started talking. So, anyway, I love y'all. Be blessed. Thank you for the support. And I'm sorry that I just really suck at putting up videos. I even lost, I'm so busy with work. I temporarily lost the monetization because I didn't link it to my bank account, even though there's like $26 in there. Woohoo! I made like $26 on YouTube. So I've got to remember to actually get that link back up so I can get my monetization. So if you've noticed that there's no more commercials on my videos, that's why. Anyway, I love y'all. Y'all have a great day. Be blessed.